welcome back. Your dreams were your ticket out. Welcome back to that same old place that you laughed about. Well, the names have all changed since you hung around, but those dreams have remained and they've turned around. Who'd have thought they'd lead ya? Who'd have thought they'd lead ya? Back here where we need ya. Back here where we need ya. Yeah, the T's in my lot, 'cause we got him on the spot. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back.
Welcome back. All right. Get a stretch. Okay. That's good. Oh, that's awesome. All right. Welcome back. Hopefully that last break session, or the last work session was a good one for you. I'm starting some laundry. So I've just bought something. It's kind of to replace a thing that I purchased before that I had a lot of fun with, but then it got like recalled, I guess. So I'm like, I'm not going to use this anymore. And so there's a newer version, a better version by a different manufacturer. And I think it like will pack up easier. So when I go out to do like events or whatever, when I travel, I'll be able to get some cool shots. And yeah, so I was kind of like watching videos on it. And so I kind of went down like a rabbit hole. Not too productive, but maybe in the future it'll help me get some cool shots or whatever. So yeah, neither here nor there. So I wanted to talk about something that I've had in like the list of things to talk about for a minute, but I just had other things I wanted to talk about before that. So I figured now's as good at any time to check it out. And I put a link to it. And so you'll be able to check it out for yourself next to the recording of the video on the website. But what I'm talking about, and it has to do with like AI models and things. So let's check this out. So GitHub. So now this blog post is introducing GitHub models, a new generation of AI engineers building on GitHub. Cool. And so I guess they're really getting into the AI engineer stuff. So kind of interesting to see what they have planned here. I kind of looked at it before, but I didn't really dive too deep into it. I've been messing around with some models some AI like LLMs and all these things, but a lot of it is for a side project, but I want to be able to do things in the browser. So I spoke before about Transformers.js, and it's kind of limited on the different models that it can do in the browser. So I've been kind of playing around with that mostly. I haven't really done too much other AI stuff because the stuff I build don't really need AI. Like I showed the video to GIF converter. That didn't need any AI in it. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see what they have here. You know what I'm saying? Kind of interesting to see. So here we go. All right. So we are enabling the rise of the AI engineer. All right. With GitHub models, bringing the power of industry-leading large and small language models, LLMs, like I was saying before. Never heard about small language models, SLMs, to our more than 100 million users directly on GitHub. Wow. Okay. So introducing this here. And so they have some of the models that I guess they have that that you'll be able to kind of work with. So there's the Meta Lambda 3.1, OpenAI GPT 4.0. This one, yeah, from Microsoft. Yeah, they have the Microsoft logo. Yep. The Phi 3. That's how you say it. Medium Instruct. Okay. All right. Some of these I've never seen before. This is kind of cool. Mistral I've seen before. That's cool. All right. So let's see what they say here. Shout out to Thomas. And so again, I've had this for a while. It's like September 1st now. So yeah. All right. Cool. So here we go. So we believe every developer can be an AI engineer with the right tools and training, from playground to coding with the model in code spaces. That's the online in-browser, like basically VS Code that they have, where I think you can just press like if you're in a GitHub repository, and I don't know if you have to hook anything up. I don't think I did anything to hook it up, but I can press like the period, and it will open up the code in like an in-browser thing. I can make the changes and all. It's pretty dope. So yeah, to production deployment via Azure. All right, GitHub models show you how simple it can be. All right. Sign up for the limited public beta here. So if you want to sign up, you can. So from the early days of the home computer, they're taking it back. The dominant mode of creation for developers has long been building, customizing, and deploying software with code. True. That today, in the age of AI, a secondary and equally important mode of creation is rapidly emerging: the ability to leverage machine learning models. All right. Increasingly, developers are building generative AI applications where the full stack contains backend and front end code plus one or more models. All right. But a vast segment of developers still lack easy access to open and closed models. This changes today. All right. Dope, dope, dope. So now we are launching GitHub Models, enabling our more than 100 million developers to become AI engineers and build with industry-leading AI models. All right, so I guess they're going to be kind of like the in-between where you'll be able to mess around with the models. Kind of like how I guess I showed a few weeks ago, whenever that was, that Cloudflare, they had like the little playground where you could like literally just click and drag like little boxes and then connect them together and kind of play around with the different models. So I'm interested to see how they are incorporating it. How GitHub, when I say they, GitHub is incorporating it. All right, so from Llama 3.1, that we said that the meta one, to GPT-4, OpenAI, and there's a mini, 4.0 mini, to the Microsoft one, to the Mistral. All right, you can access each model via a built-in playground. Okay, that lets you test different prompts and model parameters for free right in GitHub. So I wonder, so I guess you have to sign up first, and then I guess it's free. Okay. And if you like what you're seeing on the playground, we've created a glide path. Glide path. Okay. Normally I do like a happy path, but glide, I've never heard of glide path. Okay, cool. To bring the models to your developer environment in code spaces and VS Code. All right, so like online or like on your computer. That's dope. And once you're ready to go to production, okay, Azure AI offers built-in responsible AI, enterprise-grade security and data privacy and global availability with provision throughput and availability in over 25 Azure regions for some models. It's never been easier to develop and run your AI application. Yeah, I guess it's kind of important that you need to have the models in the region to make it quicker, I guess. And then I guess some places you can't have like data, I guess, going out of the region. So it's probably a good idea that they have it within there. So that's cool. And here's a video. So let's check this out. So limited public beta of the GitHub models. Let me see all the stuff here again. All right, let's check it out. See what they got to say. Wait, hold on. Anytime there's some code, I gotta go check this out. Hold on. What is it saying? What is it saying? What are you saying here? What does that pop up? All right, so we got a response. We're gonna wait. Okay, so you're like an SDK. So, so the client, the chat component of it, the completions create. So you're gonna create something, all right, and you're using the model GPT-4o. The content. So you're kind of like talking to the AI and setting it up. So what is the capital of France? And then the role of a user, okay. And so you're waiting that. So behind the scenes, I'm guessing is making like a fetch call, like an API call. So this way you don't have to do that and all the, I guess the authentication and things. So you don't have to worry about all of that. You just, I'm assuming you probably have to initialize the client and then allow you with like some sort of credentials and I'll allow you to do all this. And then what comes back? So there's a few choices that could come back. So you can get the first one, the message and the content of that message. Okay. I hope they have like some sort of like documentation to show like the breakdown of how the responses come back and like what form. I'm assuming so, because trying to guess that would be terrible. All right, so yes, that seems pretty straightforward. And I guess you would just change this model here. All right. I wonder if all the models have the same, like you pass in a role and you pass in a content. I wonder if they, behind the scenes, if they aren't, if they're kind of like making that the same across the board, maybe. All right. So, okay, cool. So let's check out the rest of the video. All right. That looks pretty cool. All right. So, yeah, so it looks like you do have to sign up. All right. Cool. All right. So the joy begins in the model playground on GitHub. For most of us, learning to be a developer didn't happen on a linear path in the classroom. It took practicing, playing around, and learning through experimentation. Okay, that's a period. The same is true today for AI models in the new interactive model playground. Students, hobbyists, startups, and even more can explore the most popular private and open models from Meta, Mistral, Azure OpenAI Service. Okay, so yeah, so because they're going through, I guess, Azure OpenAI Service. Okay, Microsoft and others with just a few clicks and keystrokes. Experiment, compare, test, and deploy AI applications right where you manage your source code. That's cool. So then I noticed Google's not here. Interesting. Well, I mean, maybe they're under and others. I don't remember seeing Google in here. Okay, interesting. All right, cool. In alignment with GitHub and Microsoft's continued commitment to privacy and security, no prompts or outputs in GitHub models will be shared with model providers. Interesting. Nor used to train or improve the models. Okay, so Meta's not going to get your prompts. Mistral's not. Interesting. So then, how does that? So, can I know people pay for OpenAI, right? The what's the name of their model again? The GPT-4o. I know people pay for that. So, so I guess you're not putting your API keys for OpenAI. You'd just be using, so maybe as a proxy through GitHub, and then maybe they'll charge you on the back end for making those calls. I wonder how that works. Interesting. Because like the prompts or outputs in GitHub models will not be shared with model providers. So I guess they're hosting those things, but what if they're closed source? I don't know how that works. Interesting. All right, then we have this here, which is kind of small. Okay, so this thing says, please help me plan the lesson around this word-based question. All right, word. Addition and subtraction. Sarah has 15 apples. She gives 7 apples to her friend. How many apples does Sarah have? So we're looking for a lesson plan around that. Cool. All right, GPT-4o says, sure, here's a simple lesson plan for teaching addition and subtraction using the word-based question. Okay. And lesson plan, addition, and subtraction objectives. Students will be able to solve word problems involving addition and subtraction. Okay, the things you'll need: a whiteboard and markers, pencil and paper, paper and pencils, counters or physical objects, for example, like the apples or blocks. Okay, worksheet with similar word problems. Okay, and they have like a warm activity. Okay, and they kind of break down in time. That's interesting. So Professor David J. Malan will be putting GitHub models to the test in Harvard CS50 this fall to enable students to experiment with AI all the more easily. Cool. So now test and compare different models. Okay, so every piece of software is unique. Yeah. Okay, so Mistral offers low latency while GPT-4 is excellent at building multimodal applications that might demand audio, vision, and text in real time. Okay, that's good to know. So the suite of developers, with a suite of models, developers will have all the options they need to stay in the flow, experiment more, and learn faster than ever before. All right, bars. Let's see. And this is just the first wave. In the months ahead, as we approach the general availability of GitHub models, we will continue to add more language, vision, and other models to our platform. Okay, so spin up code bases. So let's see if this will allow you to check this video. Maybe this is them actually using it. Here we go.
We believe that every developer can be an AI developer with the right tools and training. That's why we've launched GitHub Models on the GitHub Marketplace, a place for you to...
Okay, so they have a marketplace. Interesting, interesting. Okay, so it's kind of like Hugging Face, I guess, a little bit. Okay. All right, cool. Okay.
Explore and experiment with a hand-picked collection of top models with entitlements attached to your GitHub account. So let's try out one of the newest models, GPT-4o. We can pass in an initial user prompt to interact with the model, and we can use the playground to adjust the parameters. For example, we can change the system prompt and experiment with the temperature for more or less randomness. Now that we've adjusted the parameters, we can send user prompts to interact with the model, simulating its use for our application. Now, GPT-4o looks great, but I want to test how a different and smaller model handles this scenario. So let's switch to Phi3 Mini Instruct and evaluate its response. Looks good. Now, we can also navigate to the details page to find out more information about the model through the README, evaluation, and transparency tabs.
Yeah, that's cool.
Now, I've made my decision, and I want to start using the models with code. By clicking the code button, we get access to some getting started instructions. We can even use a GitHub Codespace to create a pre-configured development environment, ready with SDKs.
I don't know if those that fast. Like, hold on now. Come on now.
And
You just clicked that. Hold on. Is this in the browser, Codespaces? Hold on. Hold on here.
Configured development.
Okay, wait, what? Here you go. Okay, let's see.
We can even use a GitHub Codespace to create a pre-configured development environment, ready with SDKs and some samples. Now the model...
I wonder if that's online, because Codespaces I thought was like an online in-browser, like VS Code.
API calls use the entitlements that come with my GitHub account. And because the Codespace knows who I am, I don't have to add an API key or sign up to any other services to start experimenting in code.
That's cool. So yeah, so since you're already signed in with GitHub, then it already knows everything. So that's cool. That's good. I was kind of wondering about that. Okay.
Talking about experimenting, let's update the streaming sample to use Phi3 Mini 4K Instruct. We'll also update the prompt and continue with our...
See, okay, so that was different than before because the GPT-4o, let me see here. Yeah, GPT-4o. So you have these messages here, role system and role user. But then when we switched over to the Phi3, the messages like changed. So I guess it is on you to make sure that it's different. Interesting. Okay.
Talking about experimenting, let's update the streaming sample to use Phi3 Mini 4K Instruct. We'll also update the prompt and continue with our experiments. Now, those entitlements we mentioned earlier follow you wherever you're logged in, including the GitHub CLI. Here, we're calling AI models to create questions for first-year computer science students.
Okay, that's pretty dope. So you can do
so
this.
They can...
How do I... Okay. Go. Okay. Sure. So, okay, that's pretty dope. So you can do it from the CLI. All right. That's pretty cool. Okay. Probably good if you had like a quick question or something. Or maybe you want to do something if you're already in the CLI. That's pretty dope.
Can check their knowledge of Git. But we can even combine other CLI commands with the GitHub CLI. For example, let's summarize the last 10 commits of this repository using Phi3 Mini Instruct. GitHub Models helps minimize the friction as you explore and experiment with AI models.
Wait, what did I do?
So
Hold
take
on,
your
thing got in the
GitHub CLI. For example, let's summarize the last 10 commits of this repository using Phi3 Mini Instruct.
Well, that's pretty cool. So you're able to, okay. And then I'm wondering if you can have like, hey, write me the PR message for this. That's cool. Like the commit message for this PR. Oh, that's pretty dope. All right, so then once you're ready, it's a breeze to get things up and running. Use the knowledge you've gained from the playground and Codespaces to set up a prototype or proof of concept within your own applications. Run prompt evals in GitHub Actions with a series of JSON files that you just pipe in the GitHub models. Okay. So there's a Copilot extension. Interesting. And finally, go to production with Azure AI by replacing your GitHub personal access token with an Azure subscription and credential. Okay. So he's not going to do that for you. Okay. Cool. Keep reading. Cool. All right. Dope. Okay. Very nice. So I may, interesting. May have to check that out. I'll probably going to look around for some more, some other videos on it and see what's up. I want to see more examples of it. All right. Cool. So let me get y'all back to work. Stop screen share. Yes. So the next break session is the final break session. So we'll take a look at an artist's website, listen to some videos, maybe listen to some tracks, maybe watch some videos, and then maybe you'll become a fan. So, but till then, I'm going to send y'all off with some traveling music. This is Nujabez featuring Apani B. The track is called Thank You. Thanks for hanging out. See you 15 minutes after the hour. Till then, I wish you much productivity. All right, y'all be easy. And peace. Thanks.
Let me start from the heart. I just want to stay. I thank you all for showing up to me. I appreciate this unique opportunity. I'm gonna rock so hard you never stop supporting me. I'm gonna show you how music is more meaning to life. I thank you all for showing up to me. I appreciate this unique opportunity. I'm gonna rock so hard you never stop supporting me. I'm gonna show you how music is more meaning to life. But let me start from the heart. I just want to stay. I thank you all for showing up to me. I appreciate this unique opportunity. I'm gonna rock so hard you never stop supporting me. I'm gonna show you how music is more